All right, this little $25 adapter absolutely saved my bacon this week. So I got this from MOKiN. They sent it over for review, and I had it on my desk maybe for a day and a half. And, you know, reviewing products requires testing. But to test an adapter is pretty straightforward. You plug it in via USB-C, and then you attempt to test every port here, not just one at a time, but also in conjunction with one another, because you want to see if there's any like throughput issues or like a voltage breaking point or something like that with these, any type of adapter like this or dongle. And good news to report, nothing like that is there. And anyhow, but the reason it bailed me out is that I have this here. This is the MSI Claw A8, and I really like it. I just don't like Windows on my handhelds. This is AMD based. I want to install SteamOS. So I needed to power the device, get access to a keyboard, and ideally a mouse, but also I need to plug in a USB stick, and this is USB-A, not USB-C. This device has two USB-C ports, so, you know, you could plug in your power into one, but then how do you also get your keyboard and the USB stick and the mouse if you want to have a mouse? Mouse isn't as required because this whole thing's touchscreen, but still, it's like, how do you get all those things functioning without access to something like this little MOKiN 8-in-1? So it bailed me out. It worked perfectly, no issues, got everything installed. So let me walk you through the device. Obviously, this is a very positive video. I'm happy with, you know, the look of it. I think it's very cool. It's not too thick either, and it has a ton of ports. And there are a couple critical ports and one distinction that I think is very cool about this device that I want to point out. So let's step through it. So first of all, you do have a power pass-through right here. So if you want to do that, you could. It supports up to 100 watts of power delivery, which is really impressive. You know, that's a lot. And the distinction I want to call out is that there are two separate ports, one for a full SD card slot and one for micro SD card. So in other little dongles like this that I've bought over the years, I've seen one or the other. Whether it was Anchor or Satoshi, it's one or the other. Not that those brands may have other ones, I'm not sure, but I like that this one for just $25 had both. There's also HDMI. Now this HDMI does support 4K, which is very good. There is a full Ethernet port here as well. And then two USB 3.0 ports and a USB-C 3.0 port with an LED status indicator. This whole package, like I mentioned, is just $25 on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description for you to make it easier. And what you get is a well-made, you know, that's metal, a well-made light multi-port adapter, or also known as a dongle, which is, it's a fun word to use. It is supported in both Mac OS and Windows if you want to do one or the other. And hey, I can tell you it also works in Linux because I had no problem inside the Bazite backend, the desktop version of it, the desktop interface, getting in there. A couple other notes, the read and write speeds. So for SD cards, you get a read speed of 20 to 40 megabytes per second and a write speed of 10 to 30 megabytes per second. The 100 watts is a 100 watt input. I need to clarify that, and an 85 watt output. So if you had something like a MacBook Air, you could pass the power through from here to the MacBook Air, and in which case, you know, so the way it would work is you plug this side into your MacBook, then you get all your ports, plug stuff in that you need, then you run power from here into the wall, like through a regular power adapter, and like something like this. This is a small one, it's 25 watt, but you get the idea. Plug it into the wall, and now you have power and all of your accessories passing through, as well as video, right, to an external monitor with that HDMI port, which is very cool. The Ethernet port supports 1,000 megabits per second, and the USB-C 3.0 ports, whether it's the A or the C ports, the USB ports will support 5 gigabits per second of data transfer speed, which is very cool. And the HDMI is 4K 60. Okay, that's a lot of stuff I threw at you, but I think the important thing here is that this bailed me out. So hopefully it bails you out too. I'll put a link in the description. MOKiN, very cool dongle. Thanks MOKiN for sending it over and saving my bacon. We'll see you on the next one. Cheers.